Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Love Speaks. I have a poem for you today. I wrote it recently. It is called Here I Am. And this is for Elaine, my aunt, who passed recently. Here I am, keeping watch. I will watch out for you. I will keep you safe. I am the high watch, keeping an eye on your well-being. I am your divinity. I will prompt you when needed, let you know when it's time to move, when it's time to rest, when another thought would be more helpful. When love is at your door, I will prompt you to answer with trust. I am your guide, here for you, with open, unafraid eyes. I will feed you morsels of wisdom, only as large as you can digest. You grow from fledgling to wise old owl under my watch. My eyes unblinking, I see you. I gaze at your heart with acceptance, unconditional. I am here for you. Here I am. Aunt Elaine passed a few days ago, about a week ago. I've been grieving. I loved her when she came into our family because she was a sunshiny person. My uncle yesterday when I was at the visitation home said that she was a ray of sunshine. And it's very true, and I admire that about her. So the thing about our family is that sometimes it's not such a ray of sunshine in our family. There's depression, and there's a no talk rule, and there's shame. Perhaps you have experienced this in your family, or perhaps not. Either way, it's a big problem in society. And we run into lots of people who suffer these things. So, we were closer when I was a kid and when we were all children, when we played together as cousins. And we're not so close anymore because of the no talk rule. Feelings get hurt. Wedges are driven into the heart, and woundedness is allowed to fester, and grudges are allowed to grow. Which means that even though there's this love that underlies everything, we don't express ourselves. It's not easy to communicate. And when we do, sometimes we're spurned because of these grudges. So I think of it like a river, and the water is our ever-flowing love. And our grudges are like big rocks in this river. And somehow it can get so mountainous that the water has difficulty finding its way around these rocks. And yet when we ponder on the words of this poem, our divinity, our love from our heart will find a way around those rocks. So I was feeling awkward about how can I honor Aunt Elaine when I haven't seen them in over a decade. I haven't seen my cousins in decades. Like, we're just not close. And yet the love needs to be expressed because it's there. It's always been there. And so actually my sister Christine really inspired me with the way she reached out in compassion by writing a beautiful letter. And because she put a beautiful rose on the envelope, she put it in their mailbox by hand. So she didn't mail it. She put it in the mailbox by hand. And that really inspired me. And I thought I could do something like this. I could buy a plant in Annie Lane's honor, and I could bring it to their mailbox. Their mailbox is by the road, so I wouldn't have to be knocking on their door or anything. We'll just surreptitiously drop it off at their mailbox. So that's what I did. And I let the love of my heart speak to me with these little nudgings. You know, the idea of a little tree for Auntie Lane. And when nothing was open except for Lowe's and Home Depot, the nudging was go to Lowe's. So I went. And the first thing I saw was a beautiful miniature rose bush, these beautiful little roses, and it was called Petite Knockout. Well, Elaine has a French heritage, and so the word petite means tiny or little in French. And knockout, well, that woman was always a knockout inside and out with her generous, loving spirit. I always admired the way she and her sisters supported one another and enjoyed one another. And we all admired her vivacious, happy soul and the way that she loved so generously. So I bought that rose bush and I brought it to their place with a lovely little card with a hummingbird on it. It was so perfect. And when I visited yesterday at Families First, I mentioned about the rose bush because I was hoping that they would have seen it. And they had seen it, and so she's going to take good care of that rose. And the roses to me represent our family that truly love one another. And I believe we will find a way around these rocks. Elaine was a great example of finding a way around the rocks. I am showing that example, and my sister Christine, and so many bright lights in our family will just keep showing this example of showing our love, speaking our truth, talking even when it's difficult, role modeling, healthy communication, and love. So that is my call to action for you today, that even when it's difficult, is there something today that you need to do to express your love? Is there forgiveness that needs to be addressed? Is there forgiving that you need to do, or that someone else needs to forgive you? Perhaps you can go within your heart and just ask for guidance, because your divinity is always there, ready to lead you. You know, and there's ways to get around the rocks, whether it's a letter, a heartfelt letter, or whether it's a thoughtful gift or a phone call. I believe that Spirit will always guide us to the healthiest, happiest, most wholesome, wholehearted way of living as we allow ourselves to be led. Ciao for now.